marry your daughter. And, well, I guess in asking her hand, I'm also asking your hand. So what do you say? Will you be my mother-in-law?
Marrying us both, eh? So, I suppose one could say 6 years ago you left us both. Of course, that was after you...
Say that. That's not his. He had Buddy Klein do it for him.
This is a proxy?
He doesn't mind doing it in his own bed, but there's something about doing it in a public place.
Kind of like sex.
Maybe where you come from.
Ladies, I think a toast is in order. Here's to the woman of the hour. A woman whose grace and kindness and warmth and concern for others is an inspiration to us all. Here's to Blanche.
And he's mad at her. Think what he's going to say about me.
After we were married, I told George that the only thing that could have made that evening more romantic was if we'd had candles and wine and a big blanket. So on our 10th anniversary, George fired up the old Packard and we drove along the same...
Tell you until you're 60, but I think you can handle it now. We lived in New York at the time, and there was the San Gennaro Festival every year. And your father, may he rest in peace until I get there, got so turned on by the festivities one year, he couldn't wait till we got home.
Well, I hate telling you this, Blanche. No, that's not true. I look forward to telling you this, Blanche. The woman your great-grandfather married was born, well, outside of Georgia.
How far outside of Georgia?
Buffalo.
It's for Dorothy. I think it's Glenn.
That's the 4th time he's called today. Well, you know what we're supposed to tell him. Go on.
Hello? Dorothy's not home and she's never coming home again. Now don't call here anymore. This is Rose. Who's this?
You're firing me, aren't you? Look, Marguerite, we think very highly of you as a person, but we're going to have to let you go. We just don't feel you're right for this job.
But you certainly did when you hired me. Marguerite, you're...
I can't stand it anymore.
I thought you said everybody loved Lucy.
She's talking about Kate and Dennis.
How long have they been in there?
Since Lucy went to Scotland.
Truly, we'd really like you to stay with us for the next 48 hours.
Please, for half the price I could go to Club Med, get a nicer room, better food, and not be forced to pee in a Dixie cup. Is there a draft in here? Oh, whoa!
These people, and you're all going to Cancun?
Yeah, one of them has a condo down there.
Ma, you were listening at the door last night, weren't you?
No, I swear on your father's grave. Or what used to be your father's grave. Now it's a Duena Schnitzel. But he always liked the pups, so I never made a fuss.
Ma.
And you know what he did? He laughed. Well, right then and there, I started growing very fond of Mr. Preston Bougainvillea. And over the next several months, we saw quite a lot of each other.
Oh, that's really very sweet, Blanche.
I know. This is the lanai. It is wonderful in the summertime, especially if you like to sunbathe with your top off.
Oh, really? And the neighbors can't see him?
Oh, sure they can.
The woman has slop embroidered on her underwear.
I get up there and tell a few jokes about the teachers, about the cafeteria food. Ma, do you remember, you call this tapioca?
Timeless.
The kids really liked me. I mean, they laughed. I felt great.
Oh, irreplaceable, you.
Dorothy, I just had a terrible nightmare.
Ma, what was it?
This. Break it up. Stanley, think of me as the Berlin Wall. Try to climb over me, And you know what, Bob? Toys when no one was looking. When I come to pick you up, I figure you're going to say you never want to go to school again. But what do you tell me? You love it. You made a new friend named Debbie.
Ma, what the hell does this have to do with... Wait a minute. How did you know what happened? I mean, if the...
Oh, girls.
Well, what's the matter? Where's David?
I don't know where he is. He wasn't on the plane.
Come on, Dorothy, I'll help you move your things back to your room.
Please, come on, Blanche. Now, calm down. He probably missed the plane. It can happen to anyone.
I missed a plane once.
And I'm getting nervous, and I realized I want to be near my mother.
I think it's great that you want to have your baby here. In St. Olaf, the mother was always with the daughter when she gave birth. And if the mother was out of town, then the mother of the father was there. And if she was out of town, then we'd call Lucky Gunther. And I remembered she left, thanks to you, Dorothy.
You had late night talks with my mother?
All the time.
And she gave you hard candy?
No. I'd ask, but she was always afraid I'd choke on it.
Why didn't somebody tell me it was dinner time?
Ma, it's not dinner, it's the middle of the night.
Well, that about concludes the first meeting of the Hunka Hunka Burnin' Love Fan Club. But before we adjourn, our secretary has a real special surprise. A genuine Elvis artifact.
It turned up 3 days later.
Where'd it turn up, Dorothy?
Are you from girls? Please. Will one of you just say something so I can become hysterical, eat a box of Malamars, and get it over with?
Okay, Jason called. You got a part in Macbeth, but I'm afraid it isn't the part you were hoping for.
What part did I get?
I like you. I like everything about you.
Swin, you hardly know me.
I know enough. I know you're pretty.
Yes.
You're smart.
Yes.
Sexy.
Yes.
Sophisticated.
No. Swin, there's something very important you don't know.
The market's in Miami. If it was in Phoenix, I'd be going in the sun.
Now, Sophia, Rose asked a perfectly sensible question.
Am I the only one she caught by surprise?
Ma.
Rose, I'm going to buy a nectarine. I go to the market every day to buy a nectarine. At 82, that's life. A round trip on the number 6 bus to buy...
I'm Mr. Fix-It. Here to please. No problem, too big or too small.
This is great. It's better than vaudeville.
Well, I'm all yours, ladies. Just lead me to the trouble. There's nothing I can't fix, except maybe this old noggin. That could use a little rewiring. Well, let's go.
Come on, Rose, you answer it.
I'm not going to answer. I don't want to have to lie for you. It's your daughter.
We're not that close. You better answer it the next time. She's going to get mad.
There wasn't anything anyone could do. No one's ever beat us, Sophia.
But someday they will, and it could be tomorrow, and it could be you. I believe that, and you're going to believe that. Because right now, today, that's all we got. Hope.
And a nectarine.
And a nectarine.
BBC that led to the pilot.
Tony and I had taken a meeting with another writer on another concept altogether, which we thought was terrific, and they didn't. And they being Warren Littlefield...
$7 tip?
Don't be silly. I said a $6, $7 tip. Why don't these people learn English if they're going to live here? This is Miami. I'd have less trouble getting around Ecuador. Oh, I'll get it. Harry.
Oh, my pretty.
Oh, Harry.
And I am sorry about embarrassing you and your friends. But that doesn't change the fact that I slept with Michael.
Oh, honey, I so wanted your first time to be special.
It was, Mom. 4 years.
Come on, Blanche, we're gonna get you to bed.
But it's my duty to the public. No, I must have it published. It's my duty. Oh, my God, I'm so tired.
Oh, come on, you can sleep right here, honey.
Tell me a story, Rose. That always puts me to sleep. It works every time. Just tell me one of your bones.
No more questions.
Not one phone call all day.
That's not true, Blanche. The phone's been ringing. You startled me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Next time I'll knock.
Like your bathrobe.
Yeah, kids gave it to me for Father's Day.
I wish I had that knack. Last night.
Good morning, ladies.
Morning, Mr.
Morning, Mr. Broughton.
Looks like you had a little bad luck here.
Boy, we certainly did. Any damage to your place?
Nope, not a scratch.
Oh, thank goodness. If the wind had been blowing in the opposite direction, your tree could have fallen into your living room.
What do you mean, my tree?
She means your tree.
You don't want to be a husband? Why, you let me know. Bye.
For St. Olaf?
That's right.
How much is it?
You want the express or the yokel?
Don't you mean local?
No, ma'am, I mean yokel. On the yokel, a family of first cousins plays banjo music as the passengers get on and off.
Do they take requests?
No?
Give me the express.
You got about an hour to kill.
Hey, man, Steve is leaving me.
For another woman?
Oh, don't be ridiculous. He's leaving me for Tokyo.
Oh, sweetheart, I'm sorry.
What's going on?
Oh, Stevie's leaving Blanche for Tokyo, Rose.
Not a sound.
Well, it never seemed to warrant one.
Yeah. Do you talk?
I've always wanted to, but at that point it seems that nobody is ever interested in conversation.
Not conversation. I mean, dirty talk.
He really doesn't want to do.
Well, so what? Maybe you were responsible, but it got him up off his duff. What's wrong with that?
Absolutely the best thing for him. And the best thing for you, Rose. Listen, have you even considered taking him up on his offer?
Oh, no, I couldn't. I have responsibility.
Rose, haven't you ever done anything to...
We could have watched it all day, but visiting hours were only from 10 to 4.
I couldn't sleep. I just kept tossing and turning, thinking about the terrible mistake I made.
Blanche, you did the right thing.
Rose was telling us about this secret date tonight.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Rose has something called a date, Dorothy. How can I explain this? You remember years ago when you went to a restaurant and a man pulled out your chair?
Thorndike.
Oh, she's a local novelist whose stories are all set in Florida.
Wait a second. Barbara Thorndike. Didn't she write Evil Wind over Pensacola?
Oh, you know it?
No, and I go to bed with it every night. Well, what's it about? How the hell should I know? My mattress frame lost a caster. I use it to keep the bed level.
You watch your tongue, Missy.
I'm sorry, Daddy, but that woman is much too young for you. Well, she's practically my age.
I'm not ashamed to be in love with a younger woman.
Why'd you keep it a secret?
It's not a secret. I didn't think age mattered to you. It doesn't matter to either one of us.
Oh, Daddy, what you're doing is wrong. You're just making a fool of yourself. She started coming to me here, and the talks didn't stop.
And she's not in the closet.
Okay, folks, that's it. Get out or get blown up.
Dorothy, all my life, she's been helping me all my life. And I just don't know what I would do without her.
Blanche, what are you doing?
If they're gonna blow this place up, they're gonna do it with me in it.
Try.
Oh, for heaven's sake, go on.
No, Dave, I better do this by myself. You might get hurt. picked one thing to do. I guess I'll just have to move out.
Hey, I got a letter from Gina Marie Donatelli.
Tolerated him as long as I can. He's got to go.
But Dorothy...
No buts, Rose.
Well, okay, but I'll need a few more days.
All right, a few more days, and that is it. Get me a doggy bone.
I don't know, Dorothy. I don't think you deserve one.
Rose.
Relax, she's not the Lone Ranger. She'll be back. I sent her to the cafeteria to get me a sandwich.
Hello. Hi. How are you feeling?
I'm exhausted.
Oh. How's our little patient doing?
Fine. Just fine. A little groggy, that's all.
What, you two are seeing each other?
You know, for years, my father's been telling me to see a psychiatrist. I couldn't understand why. And then a couple of weeks ago, it dawned on me. He probably meant socially. Oh, it's wonderful. They really listen.
She really talks.
This is exactly what happened during the Great Herring War.
The Great Herring War?
Yes, between the Lindstroms and the Johanssons.
Oh, that Great Herring War.
The two families control the most fertile herring waters off the coast.
If she never came back.
This house is so empty without her. I'm lonely.
That's why I never got married. I didn't want to be lonely. I didn't want somebody else driving my car. You're out of Perrier, George.
This is probably what Renee was...
Listening to my yodeling tapes. When the driver behind me starts furiously honking his horn, I decide to be a lady and let him pass. And what does he do? Pulls alongside, shouts obscenities that would make Joan Rivers blush, then speeds off down the street.
Who cares, Rose? I got my own problems. Who said Gloria Palazzotto? I said Flo Palazzotto. Why don't you pay attention?
How is Flo?
Oh, beautiful. She and her second husband, Pete, are in Rome. You remember Pete, the man you could have had?
I did have him. That's why I didn't want him.
You and Pete? You never told me that.
Later. First, I want to hear...
Look, it's my marriage. I never should have come here in the first place. That was a big mistake. We'll be out of here first thing in the morning.
Well, I was going to give it to Joni Winston, but if you're really that hungry, I'd still have time to make another one for the wedding. Of course, I have to address those 3,000 envelopes in the morning after I pick up the decorations for the hootenanny at the church. But that'll still give me plenty of time to wash cars in the afternoon. And give blood before 7. Deep inside.
Listen, when I thought I was moving, I was going to give each one of you a gift. But I want you to have them anyway.
Why, Sophia, how sweet.
Oh, honey, you shouldn't have.
Oh, Ma, this is so lovely.
Grand opening in time for the big beach festival this weekend.
Sophia, it's getting damp and chilly out here. You're going to catch yourself a cold.
Please, I haven't had a cold in 40 years. This is the worst cold I've had in 40 years.
My back is killing me. I feel dizzy and nauseous. Every joint in my body feels...
Wants this marriage to happen. So instead of fighting, why don't we all sit down and try to figure a way out of this mess?
You like cheesecake?
Can Ella shatter glass?
Actually, that first night, I was kind of, well, appalled, I guess. But Charlie was very patient. It was really very nice. Once I understood that that's what you were supposed to pick on me. They're always telling me to shut up. Why is that?
Well, it could
every
be.
time I open my mouth to express an opinion,
Rose.
they jump on me. I mean, they say I babble. I don't babble. I mean, people who babble are the
Shut
ones...
up, Rose. I think things would be more...
Get your bunny nose out of my butt. Let's just get some sleep.
Good night, Ma. Good night, Mo. Good night, Lowry. I'm not going to be able to sleep. I'm on the wrong side of the bed.
Well, I use it.
I'm Dorothy Zbornak.
I'm Melanie Griffith.
Hi, Dorothy.
Hi, Melanie.
You're special.
You're nuts.
It does not belong in a song. Miami, you're cuter than an interuterine.
I know what you're trying to do, and it's not working.
What?
You made up something to do because you're afraid you'll be intruding on Raymond and me. You don't have to worry about that. Honey, you're more important. And that's why I'm spending the entire weekend here with you.
Geez, you're a yutz. It's there when you're down. And family stops at nothing to help one of their own. Blanche, I want my brother Angelo to come here and live with us.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sophia. There's just no room.
Hey, I tried.
Wait a minute, Dorothy.
Wait! I'm from the thrift shop. Somebody called about donating some old stuff.
Oh, yeah, right. These boxes over here. Oh, wait a minute. This made-up old thing must be for you, too.
Thanks. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Okay, let's go celebrate.
Ooh, someone was supposed to pick me up an hour ago. I can't figure out what's taking them so long.
Ma, when are you going to stop? Now, look, you're not going anywhere, so why don't you just put down your suitcase and you and I'll go off and see a movie?
You go to a movie. In a few hours, I'll be basking on a beautiful white beach, trying to keep the sand out of my wrinkles. No, that was for you. It was a mascara note. Anyway, I can get out of this. The game's not over till the fat lady sings. I'm singing in
The point I'm trying to make is your behavior in this shoe thing is extreme. Excuse me, sir. We are looking for a leather jacket that got mixed up with a box of clothes we donated. It was a terrible mistake.
It was not a terrible mistake. It was a regular mistake. A terrible mistake is when you forget that different world follows Cosby.
I remember you. I just picked that stuff up a couple hours ago.
And it's still here.
Once upon a time, on a beautiful spring day, Henny Penny was waking up from a nap under an oak tree when an acorn fell from the tree and hit her on the head. Funny, when I was a little girl in Sicily and they told this story...
Hello.
Well, girls, how'd it go?
Terrible. I can't believe you live 80, 90 years and wind up in a place like Sunny Pastures. I guess...
Originally it was to keep the Visigoths away, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Am I convincing?
As what, ye old town slut?
There was something we could do to make her feel better. I mean, we're always there when we need each other. You know, if I have a problem, Rose is there for me. And if Dorothy has a problem, I'm there for her.
I wish I knew what to do.
All right, I can pick up a cue. Picture it. Sicily, 1912.
Then I couldn't do that anymore.
Today's a special day. She makes it, it twirls around, and droplets go all over. It's fun.
Well, what do you think of Maggie?
Does it matter?
Well, of course it does.
All right, then I'll be frank.
I think she's a gold-digging hussy.
Nothing. Dorothy, you're a sick, suspicious, paranoid person. Stan, my favorite ex-son-in-law.
God, Stanley, what the hell are you doing here?
Don't you dare talk to him like that. I invited him for dinner.
What?
I love your toupee, Stanley. Is it new?
Yeah.
Sing a number from my new album.
Yep, she's ready. We're gonna do everything that we can.
Thank you. But wait just a second. Come here, Kirsten. Kiss me goodbye.
Mom, don't say that. Everything's gonna be fine.
Come here, kiss Mommy.
But there's one thing I do have.
What's that, Mom?
2,000 shares of Xerox, which I bought at my health. I've got my health.
Listen, Ma, I made an appointment for you for 2 o'clock this afternoon. Either you go and get your hearing checked, or I will make life miserable for you. I gave myself a perm and took up jazzercise. You bought a car without telling me?
How can I explain it? When I sat behind the wheel, people noticed me. People paid attention. That car was a chick magnet.
That is it, Stanley. That's it. What? Honey, lean over a mirror sometime and take a look at yourself.
Where's a mirror?
There's one in the tool drawer.
I think you better take a sedative before you look.
Don't be silly. I look at my face all the time. How different could it be leaning over?
Oh, my God! $400? Back in St. Olaf, the most expensive room is $18.50. And that includes the cow.
All right, Rose, why would you want a cow in the room?
It's the law.
Kingmeat.
Ma, you can't do that.
What are you talking about? It's a perfectly legal double jump.
Yes, but I'm black, you're red.
Hey, it's supposed to be a friendly game. All of a sudden, you're playing Vegas rules. Hi, everyone.
Oh, Lucy, honey, how...
Who was the first after Stan?
The divorce lawyer.
How did you know?
It's always the divorce lawyer.
Oh, it was a terrible time for me. You know, I'd gone on an eating binge when Stan left, and I put on quite a bit of weight. Plus, I was not a 20-year-old. You know, when you're 20,
Bugs at his place. Well, he didn't want to make a big deal of it. He said he could try to pass them off as shellfish and sell them out of the back of his trunk. But I thought it was a great story, and so did my boss. In fact, he's putting it on tonight's news.
Rose, please tell me you're kidding.
My boss said he wanted to expose Angelo's land.
Dipped his toes in the lake known as Blanche.
That wasn't stupid enough to deserve a hit?
You know what I'm gonna do? Put your...
I was pretty surprised myself.
Well, I'll bet. To think Jean would prefer Rose over me? That's ridiculous.
It's pretty.
Now you tell me the truth. If you had to pick between me and Rose, who would you pick? Who?
Blanche, pull yourself together. Get in. I don't think my mother would mind.
Think again.
I'd go outside, but there don't seem to be any shady pines to sit on.
Hello, pussycat?
We'll start with the ink blots.
Who was a 1950s black singer?
A new and fascinating friend. Oh, thank you so much. I'm really touched. Look, why don't I go ahead and get the coffee and let the three of you get to know each other?
Barbara, that is such a stunning brooch. Wherever did you get it?
Oh, I was in Morocco working on a novel, not to mention a dashing young Moroccan.
Ah!
We are gathered here today to join this man and this woman in matrimony.
I just love weddings.
Oh, me too, me too.
You think you'll ever get married again?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so.
Me neither. How about you, Blanche?
Oh, absolutely. If the right man ever came along. Of course, he'd have to have the bow myself.
We have created a poetry-writing citrus farmer who writes letters with a lavender felt pen. And Rose thinks he's the most fascinating creature on earth. Now, what do you think that says?
About Rose?
About the whole bunch of us.
Dorothy, I got a big problem.
The Metamucil.
Live longer than I will.
Sophia, you know how much it means to a mother to talk to her child on Mother's Day?
I remember one Mother's Day I spent with somebody else's mother. I was on my way back to St. Olaf. I was stuck in this little bus station.
You know, I think I'd almost forgotten Leo. He's the one who prescribed arch supports for Mussolini.
Must have really helped his lower back when they hung him by his heels.
Forget him. I'm talking about Bruno Bonifiglio. I take one look at him, and I have a hunch he's trouble. But nobody believes me. So what happened?
That calendar's from 1984.
Oh, yeah, this is the day I escaped from Shady Pines. It says right here, I'm free. I'm free.
Mr. Gordon.
Dorothy, you look wonderful.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Gordon.
Hey, no more of that, Mr.
Woke up from her sedation. She told them that he said from the grave, we never paid our 78 through 86 income taxes. And his partner said only Gustav would know that he must be alive. So they all raced to the cemetery and the entire...
What is this, Wimbledon?
Oh, Sophia, stop that.
Oh, Sophia, I'm glad you're here. You know I'm moving in with Kirsten tomorrow.
My gosh, you're right. That is the best thing I have ever tasted.
Oh, this is delicious.
Hey, give me a break. You can't smell that from the hall.
Have trouble believing it exists since they're not able to see it under their microscopes just yet. Those colleagues of mine, unfortunately, tend to blame the victim.
I can't tell you what a relief this is.
I'm sure. Are there any other questions that I could answer for you?
Not now, not that I can think of. Maybe later. Right now, I can't even think.
I'm just tired of getting all dressed up, looking gorgeous, going out, only to lose out in the end. On the other hand, I am dressed up, and I do look gorgeous, and it is Gringo night at Hernando's Hacienda. Oh, but I really like the new carpet. Me neither.
Oh, this is ridiculous. This is never going to work.
Now listen, the caddy said Mr. Hope just finished his round of golf. He's got to be in here somewhere.
Well, what if he is? I mean, he's not about to do a favor for...
That's nice. So you spent the evening at dinner.
No, we spent dinner at dinner. We spent the evening at a motel.
A motel, Dorothy! A cheap, tawdry, bare-balled den of iniquity!
We didn't drive to Sodom and...
Well, Rose, isn't that sweet? And I do love you for it, honey, but I just couldn't. I could never fit this trim little body into that big old tent of a dress they're going to have to make for you.
See ya.
Oh, what did I ever see in that man?
Don't blame yourself. You were young, you were carefree. You were just one of those girls who marries the first guy who knocks her up.
Gee, this is really cool.
Yeah, I see that you've met...
Stanley.
Oh, Ma, you really think so?
Of course not, but you think I'm going to tell you that? I'm your mother.
Ma, are you sure you mailed all the invitations? None of the G's through the L's?
Maybe we have one. Maybe he can see things we don't have the power to see. I read that in a book. People with mental illnesses are the chosen.
Who chooses them, Shirley MacLaine?
George, we've got to have a talk.
Hey.
We have
about...
You have no license. You're not allowed to drive.
Curses. Oh,
Dorothy, good. I'm glad you're here. I want you to help me to go through these papers I sent for. They're to authenticate my family tree. Well, tomorrow I have to present it out loud at the Daughters of the Old South.
Ma, what is the matter with you? Can't you answer the door?
My butt's asleep, and I'm kind of getting into it.
Hi, Zbornak. We need to talk.
Yeah, come in, Coach. Ma, this is Nick Odlevac, the football coach.
I never thought I'd say this, Dorothy, but I think...
Stole your stole. A beautiful stole. You can't replace it. They don't make them anymore. Look here. Just tortures me to know that there's one man out there, one on the face of God's green earth that I cannot have. Especially if he's fat and bald.
Blanche, forget about it.
I can't forget about it. There's only one thing for me to do.
I'm here if you want to pick my brain.
Rose, I think we should leave it alone and let it heal.
It was clear from Ted's tone on the phone that he wants to escalate our...
I don't know how to thank you all for helping me with this test.
Pay us.
Ma! It's our pleasure, Rose.
Okay, what we have to do is try these different hair removal products.
Quarantined, we're in a real bind. How would you like to play Henny Penny?
Well, I have enjoyed playing a hen in the past.
Fill us in. Parade, honeymoon, or religious ceremony?
Theater. The St. Olaf Masquer's production of Hamlet.
I don't right off recall a hen in Hamlet.
Tough break, Sophia. 1 minute you're about to entertain the masses, the next you're back on a foot covering a corn pad. Now you know how Valerie Harper feels.
Well, I thought it would be fun.
Well, have yourself a good time and try not to overdo it.
Blanche, what is that supposed to mean?
Oh, nothing. It's just that these things can be a little strenuous for a woman of your years.
Who am I, Mamie Eisenhower? Wants to know if you'd mind if this little boy goes ahead of you.
Oh, no problem.
Oh, no. You need to see a doctor just as much as me. I'll wait my turn.
No, kid. It's your turn. I don't need to see a doctor. You were right, Dorothy. I was faking.
Sophia, I'm shocked.
Good. You do have the Studebaker, don't you?
Almost out of gas and ready to go.
My mother found out about this, she would kill me.
Dorothy, I'm getting the feeling that maybe you're ashamed of me.
Oh, Stanley, don't be silly. Get down! Stan, can't you even wait till we get to the car?
Hi, Miami, Miami, you got style. Blue sky, sunshine, white sand by the mile. There's more clubs and nightclubs, all within reach. Dance the samba till morning, then lie on the beach. Each view is a post.
I came with my wallet.
I am furious with you.
Think of how mad your date's gonna be when he finds out he's not going out with Janet Gaynor.
Oh, God.
Now, Dorothy, just remember how important first impressions are.
Blanche, you're wearing my earrings.
Oh, I know that.
But when I asked you before where they were, you said you didn't know, and now you're wearing them.
Well, Rose, there could be two explanations. Either I was lying or I was wrong about the number of explanations.
Ball game with Captain Kangaroo.
Why, you devil, are you suggesting another time? Just name it, I'll be there.
Well,
tomorrow, 2:30 at the Empire Lounge.
Well, sure, why not? I'll see you there.
Oh, Jerry. Do it just once for us.
Rose! Rose! Rose, will you wake up? You have a call.
Is it time to milk the cows, Daddy?
No, kitten. You have a phone call.
What did you say, Dorothy?
You have a phone. Maybe I should look up one of my old flames.
Yeah, but not Stan. The other one.
I have some incredible news.
You've been traded to the rubbish.
We had to feed the chickens, slop the hogs, muck the stalls.
Please, I'm trying to eat here.
And after I finished all that, I still had to take care of Larry, my one-eyed pig.
What did you people do? Run a farm for handicapped animals?
Is Stalag 17? I went for a walk. I couldn't sleep. I had a nightmare.
Tell me about it, Sophia. Sometimes I can interpret dreams.
Blanche sold the house, and I wound up back at Shady Pines.
This is a tough one.
Dorothy, please don't send me back.
Ma, I am not sending you back to Shady Pines.
Say, why don't you tell me about this automobile thing again? Say, tonight over dinner?
Oh, now, Blanche Devereaux is a very charming, attractive woman.
Yes, she is. Shall I pick you up around 7:30?
Oh, I feel terrible about this. Let's say 8 o'clock. That's not a Steven Spielberg movie. What are they doing?
You know what they're doing. We had that talk when you were 12.
No, I can't believe this. You rented a dirty movie?
Dirty is in the eye of the beholder. Okay, maybe that's a little dirty.
I cannot watch it. Or my father finished the sentence.
You married your father?
My father told Stan that he had to marry me. I was pregnant.
You had a blowgun wedding?
If you live in the Amazon
town, 1 month I saw the same picture 15 times.
Sounds like cable.
So, tell me about Robert. What's he like?
He's a lot like Grandpa.
Really? Does he look like Grandpa?
No, he looks like Bruce Springsteen.
Well, then how's he like Grandpa? When that door opens, you can see right in there.
Who cares, Blanche? We have more important things on our minds.
Take a load off, Rose. We're here. Alley number 7.
Wait a minute. What are y'all doing here? We're supposed to be sharing this alley with the Nielsen twins.
They had to...
At 30,000 feet, she picks up a doctor. Now I see the family resemblance.
In fact, I'm supposed to meet him in a half hour, if that's okay.
But darling, you just got here.
Aunt Blanche, you always said, if you've got a stallion eating oats out of your hand, best close the gate before you give him the sugar.
You said that, Blanche.
Yes, Sophia, I'm just here to take care of you. You want your back rubbed? I'm here. A glass of water? Call me. My job is just to see to each and every one of your needs. Will you excuse us? I have to talk something over with my daughter. Of course.
You see, Ma,
You're right.
Back, Blanche, because if you ever look down this way, everything falls.
She wrote it in about an hour and called it in or turned it in or something, and we had a second scene that was hilarious. I remember it being that one.
It was
Maybe
very
wasn't.
easy. I had looked in a mirror.
Unfair.
Well, that's because it is. There are 3 million homeless, hungry people in this country.
What bothers me is those people out there are being fed today because it's Christmas, but what do they eat tomorrow?
When the great communicator talked about his vision of a city on a hill, I wonder if it included people sleeping on gratings in the street.
To me? Keep it up with those Chips Ahoy, and Superman couldn't see right through you.
I just got off the phone with Ham Lushbow, who happens to be the most charming, most intelligent, most gorgeous, most sexy man on the face of this entire planet. We went to college together. Look, there's his picture. Well, till just now, read that last paragraph.
My sentence has been overturned on a technicality. I'm getting out on the 21st. Now, finally, we can make all our dreams come true. Isn't that terrible? Well, he's written catchier stuff, but I wouldn't call it terrible.
Easy, not healed, not healed, not healed.
Sophia, where have you been?
What are you doing on this elevator?
I'm into easy listening. How the hell should I know?
What difference does it make? We found you.
Oh, what a day this has been. I found my father. You found your...
Well, it's not a bad idea, but I'm a little embarrassed.
Oh, me too.
Embarrassed? Well, there's no reason to be embarrassed. Now, these are discreet professionals. This is a private matter. Whatever we buy is nobody's business but our own. I'd like
Tom, the truth is, I don't have any magical powers.
Boy, have I been stupid. I haven't felt this dumb since I found out William Conrad wasn't one guy in a jacket and another guy in a pair of pants. You always meet a lot of lecherous guys out for a good time who think they can impress you by throwing their money around.
Oh, damn, I wish I didn't have to go to work today. Well, Dorothy, you go. You can relax and take your mind off your job interview tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, all right.
Oh, good. I would lend you my pen. You won't. Now put that guitar down. I want to talk to you.
What's the matter?
Well, I don't know what's gotten into you. Daddy, you're no singer.
Well, I know I'm no Hank Williams yet,
Well, no,
but...
that's not what I meant. I mean, at your age, just out of nowhere to decide you're going to go on here.
The very first night he was in America, his uncle took him to a movie. He felt more excited than he ever had in his whole life watching that movie because of the feeling he got sitting in that theater with all those other people, laughing together, getting scared together. He felt like those people were his friends.
The brilliant one. She sat in my daddy's lap for 16 years. Oh, and she was hateful. You know what she used to do? She used to bite herself on the arm and then run crying to Daddy that I had done it and he'd punish me. Oh, she got me in trouble all the time. Daddy used to call me the bad seed. Once she'd electrocuted.
You know, for 2 cents.
You could get a better toupee?
Okay, that's it. I've had enough. I'm not going on with this anymore.
Angela, look! St. Francis of Assisi!
Hang-ups in 2 days.
Miss Know-It-All, for your information, it takes 3 days.
So what did it do for you?
I've learned a hell of a lot about what makes Stanley run. Why I'm so reluctant to make commitments, why I can't keep friends, why all my business ventures seem to fail. I finally have an answer.
My limousine's waiting.
Oh, you little devils, you. Wait a minute. Honey, are you sure you don't want to join us?
You got a marzipan bar in your ear? I told you, I've got a date with you-know-who.
Mom, we love you.
Yeah, right.
Oh, you fell for it.
Glad to talk in private.
Why are we in the dream in the first place if she's throwing us out?
Jonathan, I'm just not sure I can go through with this.
Rose, I know this may not be the perfect relationship, but I care for you very, very much. If you feel the same way about me, we can look any problem, big or small.
Oh, I do.
Tell you another thing I remember about that night. How nervous I was.
Nervous? About what?
Our goodnight kiss. I was terrified. I figured, oh, she's not going to want me to kiss her goodnight. She'll... Was worth...
The hearts of the righteous, standing at the gates of heaven, while St. Peter...
You're making that up.
I am not.
Look, anyone can clearly see that is a picture of John Forsythe lying naked in a pool of honey.
You know what I do when I need a shot of self-esteem?
Yeah, you put on that dopey "it's okay to be me" sweatshirt. Go lock yourself in the bathroom and then like a moron kiss yourself silly in the mirror.
I guess I'll be back in there again tonight.
Oh, Sophia, do you know any back?
about the same thing. I'm not going.
What?
Don't faint, but you were right when you said I should go out and make new friends. So, I took your advice. I met some nice people at the center, and this weekend we're all going to Cancun. Looks like you and what's-his-name will have to go to the Bahamas without me.
You just met the...
What'd you tell him? I told him he should have dinner waiting for me. Not that I'm such a big fan of squirrel gumbo.
Ma, how do you expect to live together in the same house? You haven't even gotten there yet, and already you're fighting with him.
What? This is Little House on the Prairie? We're at each other's throats all the time. There were more fights here than at Caesar's Palace.
I don't want your money, Stan. Marvin, give me the agreement.
Ouch! Weddings. Why do I always get hit at these things?
Get out, Stan. Get out before I need a lawyer.
I think you got a case.
Video recorder?
I bought you a video recorder.
2 video recorders? Wow, this is going to be the best Christmas ever.
Ma, how did you think I was going to pay for all this?
On time. Loosen up the mousetrap a little. It's Christmas.
You see what this holiday has become?
Much more attractive than most of the women I come in contact with.
Aren't most of the women you come in contact with dead?
What I was talking about is us. Would you consider going out with me?
What about Blair?
And now I have a real treat for you. Straight from Poland, the Sklarkiewicz brothers. Where's your brother? Oh, do the best you can.
Hey! So, do we go on next? Okay, what do you think now? Don't hold back. I can take the criticism. Depressing.
Awful.
Stinky.
Your sitcom, it really isn't all that funny sometimes. But, you kind of muddle on. If you could not write a joke, if B. Arthur or Betty or Rue could not get a laugh with your joke, you have written a bad joke. And that's what we learned on...
I'll call if there's any change.
Come on, Dorothy. I'll take you home.
No, I'm not leaving.
Then we'll all stay.
No, you go.
Oh, no, we're not going anywhere.
I would rather be alone, please.
Are you sure, babe?
Would it be stupid to ask for a group hug before we leave?
Of course not.
Miles?
Rose!
Well, you might have forgotten the signal. I know I did.
Delivery for Sophia Petrillo?
Here's a president you've never seen. Look what I got, Dorothy.
Oh, good. We can sneak out.
Mother! Becky, I have to admit, everything is well coordinated here. But, honey, wouldn't you be happier in a place where there's less stereo and more... morphine? During World War II.
Did I do better than him?
No.
I'm a failure.
Rose, you are not. Now, come on. You are doing very well in every subject except history.
Well, I'm not surprised. It's all because of my high school history teacher, Mr. Stickelmeyer. He was a meditate.
Well, just shut your eyes. Now breathe deeply. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good.
Oh, I can't. I'm too wound up. Blanche! Which one went out first?
Initiation banquet.
Oh, Blanche, you're not really going to go through with this, are you?
Well, indeed I am. This club is a link to the proudest of all heritages. Oh, I remember growing up in Atlanta, how all of us girls used to pretend to be Confederate belles and we'd receive gentlemen callers. Got to be like a competition. In fact, I once received 7 callers in one evening.
There might be a waterfall in that rock formation. You were right. There is a waterfall, and it empties into a pool.
in the lobby of the Hyatt Regency.
We never left the island. We just got shipwrecked on the good side.
Our new hotel's a half a mile in this direction. Come on, we reserved your room.
Okay.
Rick, put out the fire.
Why did you say eh?
It just came out.
Me too. Did you have fun rebuilding the old business?
It always felt like something was missing.
I can tell you what that was. My Salvador.
For and why is best left unsaid, but I have a hunch, and it's appalling that, like it or not, the sky is falling. Henny decided to take action. I should go and warn the king. And off she went.
I'm trying to get comfortable.
Not me. You get too comfortable, you don't wake up.
Good night, Ma.
Good night.
Do you like some more beer?
Oh, no thanks, I'm fine. What am I saying? I am not fine. Look, Lucas, this isn't your fault. I do not go out on blind dates. I mean, this is as silly as I have felt in a long...
To your boss about your workload. Wallowing in self-pity is not going to help.
How are you feeling, Dorothy?
My life is falling apart and now Rose is bothering me.
Dorothy, I'm sorry I bothered you.
I'm sorry I snapped at you, Rose. It's just that I'm upset.
To hide it.
Oh, Sophia, she's gonna be okay, I know it.
She will be, Sophia. Now, she's tough.
You know, there are all sorts of things that people get that they can't diagnose, and then they disappear just as mysteriously as they came. Gustav Lundqvist got sick from something mysterious, and he nearly...
Might be Phil Rizzuto's. Notice the phrase, holy cow, creeping into her conversation.
Oh, Dorothy, you have nothing to worry about.
Oh, Blanche, of course I do. I am confronting the possibility that the woman I have lived with and known...
I see what you mean.
You know, you can learn a lot about a man just by the way he holds you in his arms. Whether he's kind, sensitive, caring.
He dipped you, didn't he?
All evening.
Help Blanche with the hors d'oeuvres.
What time's the birthday girl getting here?
I told Roberta to be here at 2 o'clock.
You think she suspects anything?
Please, the woman is 88. She still tries to find gun smoke on Sunday nights.
Dorothy, why don't you get the cake and we'll take all these things into the living room?
Good idea.
Dorothy, do you want to do the honors?
Maybe later, in private.
No, I mean fasten the floor flange. That's all we have left to do.
No, honey, you go ahead. Later, I'll break a bottle of champagne over the flush valve.
Oh, girls, it is beautiful. I'm so proud of you.
Thanks, Blanche. Hey, are you going out?
Yes.
Oh, good. Where are the paramedics?
I'll go call them again. Rose, you stay with Dorothy.
Dorothy, she'll be fine. I'm sure it isn't a heart attack. A heart attack's bigger. I've seen a heart attack. Charlie had a heart attack.
Then it wasn't like this?
Oh, it was much worse.
If only the paramedics would get here.
Guess. Nobody asked you. Was I talking to you? I'm talking to my daughter. To me, you don't exist.
And who's driving you to your niece's wedding in California?
Salvador, you're upsetting Papa. Would you please find a mechanic? It's freezing in here.
Of course, it's a freezing in here. Mr. Ziti for brains decides to take a shortcut through Chicago.
Well, what's the matter, honey? Did you have a bad time with Ray?
It wasn't Ray. His ex-wife, Myra, ran into the chowder heads where we were eating and started yelling at me. And then she grabbed a lobster out of the tank and forced me out of the booth.
How was the lobster at Chowderheads?
Stop, it's after midnight.
Sophia and I are going into business.
How did she talk you into this, Rose?
Oh, Sophia didn't talk me into it. And she said if I had half a brain, I'd have thought of it myself. Besides, it'll be fun, Dorothy. Just like when I was a little girl and sold Belgian waffles alongside the road.
As you do that, I don't mind at all.
Sure, Rose. Set a place at the table.
Well, hi.
What happened?
Oh, we had the nicest time. We went to Joe's. You ever been to Joe's?
Yes, what happened?
I had the stone crabs. I never had stone crabs. You ever had stone crabs?
Yes, Blanche, just tell us.
Oh, well, I was just so relieved.
Your kidney?
My kidney.
Why would she need a kidney?
To feed the cat,
Our icebreaker, I can teach you right now. Oh, once you learn this, any man is putty in your hand.
Oh, Blanche, come on, that is ridiculous. I mean, I'm certainly not going to waste my time listening to this adolescent nonsense. Did you say putty?
Sit back. Now, just play like we're at the movies.
I'm not a soldier. I'm a pharmacist in his 50s, and you're a woman in her.
Watch it, Bill.
You're a woman in the prime of her life, who I would like to get to know better. Slowly.
And we can both see other people?
Sure.
Well, I've decided I've been acting foolish about this whole thing. I guess I still look pretty good.
Pretty good. You look terrific.
I know. I also decided to try and be a bit more modest, but in this case, that's like lying, which is worse. So you're right, I do look terrific.
Oh, well, thank goodness that's over with.
Dorothy hates me.
Oh, Blanche, that's not true.
Oh, yes, it is. And I hate her right back double. Now get me some cream.
Morning, Dorothy. Blanche and I were just having some coffee. Would you care to join us?
Frankly, Rose, I would rather use Willie Nelson.
So tomorrow I'm just going to have to stop this lying and tell the truth, no matter how much it might hurt all of us. Dorothy, I want you to know that having friends like you really helps me get through times like this.
Oh, listen to that music. Who says you can't go home again?
Knut Trollstad. You see, he took Ilse Frikadeller up to Smooch Point to play hide the fingerboard. That's a thimble.
लोकप्रिय आमदार मनन दिलदार कार्य त्यांचं महान लोकप्रिय आमदार मनन दिलदार कार्य त्यांचं महान आमचे लोकप्रिय नेते अरविंद अण्णा चव्हाण आमचे लोकप्रिय नेते अरविंद अण्णा मनान हायलय मोठा असा दयाळू आमचा नेता शिवपाड प्रेम करते आहो त्यांच्यावर ही जनता आहो मनान हायलय मोठा असा दयाळू आमचा नेता शिवपाड प्रेम करते आहो त्यांच्यावर ही जनता कलाकाराचा गुणवानाचा सदा करी सन्मान कलाकाराचा गुणवानाचा सदा करी सन्मान लोकप्रिय आमचा नेता अरविंद अण्णा चव्हाण लोकप्रिय आमचा नेता अरविंद अण्णा चव्हाण गरिबाचा हवाली तो खरा आहे दानशूर साऱ्या नेत्यामध्ये बघा आमचे अरविंद अण्णा लय वकीलदार अहो गरिबाचा हवाली तो खरा आहे दानशूर साऱ्या नेत्यामध्ये बघा आमचे अरविंद अण्णा लय वकीलदार लोक कल्याणासाठी रात्रंदिवस जीवन लोक कल्याणासाठी रात्रंदिवस वाहे सदा जीवन लोकप्रिय आमचा नेता अरविंद अण्णा चव्हाण लोकप्रिय आमचा नेता अरविंद अण्णा चव्हाण पाटलांनी बघा कसं त्यांच्या कार्याला हो चांगलं अंतकरणातून बघा त्यांना नेता आपला मान राम पाटलांनी बघा कसं त्यांच्या कार्याला हो चांगलं अंतकरणातून बघा त्यांना नेता आपला मान ना झाला कधी ना होणार असा आमदारी कोण ना झाला कधी ना होणार असा आमदारी कोण लोकप्रिय आमचा नेता अरविंद अण्णा चव्हाण लोकप्रिय आमचा नेता अरविंद अण्णा चव्हाण लोकप्रिय आमदार मनानं दिलदार कार्य त्यांचं महान लोकप्रिय आमदार मनानं दिलदार कार्य त्यांचं महान लोकप्रिय आमचा नेता अरविंद अण्णा चव्हाण लोकप्रिय आमचा नेता अरविंद अण्णा चव्हाण लोकप्रिय आमचा नेता अरविंद अण्णा चव्हाण लोकप्रिय आमचा नेता